The door swung open with a sharp click. And there he was, the man who would shatter my world in the best possible way. Alex Thompson, a 25-year-old fresh out of a dead-end barista gig in the foggy streets of San Francisco, straightened my ill-fitting suit and stepped into the glass-walled conference room, heart pounding like a war drum. But as I sat down, the CEO, Jordan Hayes, didn't glance at my resume. Instead, his eyes raked over me from head to toe, a slow, deliberate appraisal that sent chills racing down my spine, as if he saw straight through my carefully constructed facade to the scared, closeted gay kid hiding beneath. I had applied for the junior marketing position at Hayes Tech on a whim, desperate to escape the cycle of rejection that had defined my life since college. Growing up in a conservative suburb of Dallas, Texas, I'd learned early to bury my true self, the boy who stole glances at his best friend in high school locker rooms, the one who cried alone after family dinners laced with homophobic jokes. San Francisco was supposed to be my fresh start, a city of rainbows and acceptance. But so far, it had been nothing but ramen noodles and lonely nights scrolling through dating apps I never dared to use. This interview was my lifeline, or so I thought. Jordan leaned back in his leather chair, his tailored shirt hugging a frame that screamed power and poise. At 35, he was the epitome of Silicon Valley success, founder of a multi-million-dollar app that revolutionized social networking for marginalized communities. Rumors swirled about him, whispers of his own coming-out story, splashed across tech blogs years ago. But in person, he was magnetic, with sharp cheekbones, a neatly trimmed beard, and eyes like stormy oceans that seemed to pull secrets from the air. "Alex," he said, his voice smooth as aged whiskey, "tell me why you're really here." It wasn't a question. It was a challenge. And in that moment, I felt exposed, vulnerable, like he already knew the battles I fought in silence. I stammered through my prepared spiel about my passion for digital marketing, my minor in communications from UT Austin. But Jordan's gaze never wavered. He interrupted gently. "That's the script. What's the story?" Sweat beaded on my forehead as I confessed bits and pieces the move west to chase dreams, the family I distanced myself from. But I held back the truth, the part where I admitted I was gay, terrified it would cost me the job. Little did I know, Jordan was piecing it together, his own history mirroring mine in ways that would soon unravel everything. As the interview wrapped, he stood and extended his hand, but instead of a firm shake, his fingers lingered on mine, a spark igniting that I couldn't ignore. "You're hired," he said simply, "but on one condition: dinner tonight. We need to talk." My mind reeled. Was this professional? Flirtatious? Dangerous? I nodded, pulse racing, unaware that this was the beginning of a whirlwind that would force me to confront my deepest fears. That evening, we met at a cozy Italian spot in the Mission District, fairy lights twinkling overhead like stars in the urban night. Jordan ordered wine without asking, pouring me a glass with a smile that disarmed me. "I saw myself in you today," he admitted, his voice dropping to a confessional tone. He shared his story, raised in a strict Midwestern family in Chicago, coming out at 22 after a painful breakup, building Hayes Tech as a haven for LGBTQ+ voices. "The app isn't just business," he said, eyes intense. "It's personal. And you, Alex, you have that fire, but you're hiding it." I felt tears prick my eyes, the weight of years lifting slightly. For the first time, I opened up, words tumbling out about the bullying in high school, the ex who ghosted me after one kiss, the fear that kept me single and isolated. Jordan listened, his hand brushing mine across the table, a touch that sent electricity through me. By dessert, laughter replaced tension, and as we walked along the bustling streets, he pulled me into a quiet alley, his lips meeting mine in a kiss that tasted like freedom. It was reckless, intoxicating me, boss. My savior. My first real connection. But reality crashed in the next morning. Waking in my cramped apartment, doubts flooded me. Was this a power play? Could I trust him? At work, whispers started, colleagues eyeing me suspiciously, wondering how the newbie scored one-on-one time with the CEO. Jordan assigned me to a high-profile project revamping the app's Pride campaign, thrusting me into meetings where I shone, my ideas flowing from a place of authenticity I'd long suppressed. Weeks blurred into a secret romance, stolen lunches in his office, late-night texts that made my heart soar, weekend getaways to Napa Valley where we hiked vine-covered hills and shared dreams under the stars. Jordan was patient, drawing me out of my shell, introducing me to his circle of queer friends, artists, activists, entrepreneurs who welcomed me like family. For the first time, I felt seen, loved, not just for who I pretended to be, but for who I was. Yet, cracks appeared. Jordan's ex, a cutthroat venture capitalist named Marcus from New York, resurfaced, stirring jealousy with veiled threats about exposing our relationship to the board. "He's using you," Marcus sneered in a chance encounter at a gala, his words poison in my ear. I confronted Jordan, tears streaming, accusing him of toying with my vulnerability. He pulled me close, whispering, "Alex, you're not a fling. You're my future." But the doubt lingered, a shadow over our bliss. As the project deadline loomed, so did a company retreat in Lake Tahoe. Amid snow-capped mountains and crackling fires, Jordan proposed we go public, announce our relationship to foster transparency. Terrified, I balked, memories of rejection flashing. That night, we argued fiercely, voices echoing in the cabin. "I can't lose everything again," I cried. Jordan's face softened. "Love means risking it all." In the silence that followed, I realized he was right. Hiding had cost me more than revealing ever could. The retreat's climax was a team-building hike, where I slipped on icy rocks, tumbling toward a ravine. Jordan's strong arms caught me, pulling me to safety. Our bodies pressed in a moment of raw fear and relief. "I can't lose you," he gasped, and in that embrace, my walls crumbled. Back at the lodge, I came out to the team, Jordan by my side, their applause a balm to old wounds. But Marcus wasn't done. He leaked emails to the press, twisting our story into a scandal of favoritism. Headlines screamed, "CEO's office romance rocks Hayes Tech." Investors panicked, stocks dipped, and Jordan faced a board vote. In the chaos, I offered to resign, but he refused. "We fight together," he said, determination in his eyes. We rallied allies, queer influencers, loyal employees who flooded social media with support. At the board meeting in the gleaming Hayes Tower, I stood before suits and ties, voice steady. "This isn't just about us," I declared. "It's about creating a world where love doesn't hide." Jordan's testimony followed, raw and vulnerable, recounting his own struggles and how meeting me reignited his passion for change. The board ruled in our favor, but the victory was bittersweet. Marcus was ousted from partnerships, his malice exposed. As calm returned, Jordan and I escaped to Big Sur, waves crashing below cliffs where we exchanged vows in a private ceremony not legal yet, but a promise etched in our souls. Months later, Hayes Tech launched the revamped app, downloads soaring as users shared stories of empowerment. I rose to lead the marketing team, my confidence blooming. But the real change was within. No more hiding, no more fear. Jordan and I built a home in the hills, adopting a rescue dog named Hope, our life a testament to resilience. Looking back, That interview wasn't for a job, it was fate's intervention. In Jordan's gaze, I found not just love, but the courage to live authentically. And in a world still grappling with acceptance, our story became a beacon, proving that sometimes a single look can change everything forever. The scandal's aftermath lingered like a fog over San Francisco Bay, but Jordan and I emerged stronger, our bond forged in the fire of public scrutiny. We dove headfirst into advocacy, partnering with local LGBTQ+ centers to host workshops on workplace inclusivity. I remember one evening at the Castro Community Center, where a young trans teen approached me, eyes wide with admiration. "Your story gave me hope," they whispered. It hit me, then the ripple effect of our courage, turning personal pain into communal healing. At work, the office buzzed with renewed energy. Colleagues who once whispered now clapped me on the back, sharing their own hidden truths. Jordan promoted diversity training, making Hayes Tech a model for tech giants. But privately, doubts crept in. Was I defined by our relationship, or could I stand on my own? Jordan sensed it, pulling me aside one rainy afternoon. "Alex, you're brilliant. This is your stage too." His words ignited a spark. I pitched a new feature for the app, anonymous support networks for closeted users, drawing from my experiences. As we developed it, our romance deepened. Lazy Sundays in our loft became sacred, coffee in bed. Jordan's head on my chest as we planned trips to places like Provincetown or Key West, queer havens where we could just be. His touch, once tentative, now confident, traced maps of affection on my skin. "I love you," he'd murmur, and I'd reply, "Forever," our whispers a shield against the world. But tension brewed when my family reached out. A call from my sister in Dallas. Mom saw the news. She's processing. My heart clenched, years of silence broken by tabloids. Jordan encouraged me to visit, booking tickets without hesitation. "Face it together," he said. Landing in Texas felt like stepping into a time warp, humid air thick with memories of suppression. My parents' ranch-style home loomed, picket fence a facade of normalcy. Dad greeted us stiffly, Mom's eyes darting between Jordan and me. Dinner was tense, small talk fracturing under unspoken questions. Finally, Dad cleared his throat. "Son, we didn't know." Tears welled as I poured out my story, the loneliness, the fear. Jordan squeezed my hand, sharing his journey, humanizing what they saw as abstract. Mom broke first, hugging me fiercely. "We love you, Alex. We're sorry." Dad nodded, gruff but genuine. It wasn't perfect, old habits died hard, but it was a start, a bridge built on vulnerability. Flying back, Jordan held me as I sobbed, release washing over me like rain. Back in SF, the app's new feature launched to acclaim, users flooding forums with gratitude. One message stood out: "This saved my life." Pride swelled, but so did external threats. A conservative group targeted Hayes Tech with boycotts, protesting our agenda. Protests erupted outside headquarters, signs waving hate like weapons. Jordan addressed the crowd from the steps, microphone in hand. "Love isn't an agenda, it's human." I joined him, voice amplified. "We've all hidden. No more." Cheers drowned out jeers, media capturing the moment. That night, exhausted but exhilarated, we made love with a fierceness born of defiance, bodies entwined in affirmation. Yet, personal storms brewed. Jordan's health scary, a routine check revealing high stress levels forces reflection. "I built this empire, but what if I lose you?" He confessed. We committed to balance, yoga classes in Golden Gate Park, Therapy sessions unpacking traumas. Our therapist, a wise woman named Elena, guided us through communication exercises, strengthening our foundation. As spring bloomed, we attended Pride Parade, floating on a Haze Tech float amid rainbows and cheers. I spotted the teen from the center, waving proudly. Jordan kissed me publicly, cameras flashing. But this time, it felt empowering, not invasive. Challenges persisted. A competitor poached talent, forcing late nights. I thrived under pressure, my ideas saving a key contract. Jordan beamed. See, you're unstoppable. Our dynamic shifted from mentor-mentee to equals, passion fueling collaboration. One weekend, we drove to Yosemite, granite peaks mirroring our resilience. By a waterfall, Jordan knelt, ring in hand. Marry me, Alex. Let's build forever. Tears mingled with spray as I said yes. Our future crystalline. Word count for part 2, approximately 1,000 words. Engagement buzz turned our lives into a whirlwind of interviews and events. But beneath the glamour, cracks deepened. Jordan's past resurfaced in unexpected ways. A former colleague revealed old emails hinting at Jordan's Playboy days before coming out. He's changed, I told myself, but insecurity gnawed. During a heated argument after a gala, I accused him of relapsing into old habits. Am I just another conquest? Jordan's eyes flashed hurt. Alex, you're my everything. We reconciled in tears, vowing honesty. Work intensified with a global expansion, sending Jordan to Europe for weeks. Alone in our loft, loneliness echoed. I buried myself in the app's anti-bullying initiative, channeling isolation into impact. Video calls with Jordan bridged the gap, his pixelated smile a lifeline. Miss you, he'd say, voice cracking. Upon his return, passion reignited, but jet lag hit exhaustion. One night, he collapsed during dinner, ambulance lights flashing. At the hospital, doctors diagnosed burnout. Guilt crushed me. Had I pushed too hard? Sitting by his bed, I whispered promises, we'll slow down. Jordan woke, gripping my hand. Together, we can handle anything. Recovery brought introspection. We volunteered at a shelter for queer youth, stories of abandonment mirroring our own. One kid, Jamie, a 17-year-old runaway from rural Oregon, bonded with us. You too give me hope, he said. We mentored him, helping with college apps, his progress a mirror to our healing. But corporate intrigue struck. A board member, sympathetic to conservatives, plotted Jordan's ouster, leaking financial discrepancies fabricated, but damaging. Stocks plummeted, employees anxious. I uncovered the sabotage through late-night digs into emails, confronting the traitor in a tense meeting. This ends now, I declared, evidence in hand. The board sided with us, but trust fractured. Jordan, vulnerable, leaned on me more, our roles reversing. You're my rock, he admitted. Intimacy evolved gentle touches, deep conversations under starlit skies. As summer waned, we hosted a fundraiser at our home, glitterati mingling. Marcus appeared uninvited, smirk intact. Still playing house. He taunted. Jordan stood firm. Leave, or security will. I pulled Jordan aside. He's not worth it. That night, we danced in the garden, music swelling, reaffirming our bond. Personal growth beckoned. I enrolled in leadership courses at Stanford, expanding horizons. Jordan supported, attending my graduation with pride. My partner's a star, he boasted. Yet, family ties tested us. My parents visited SF, Awkward at first, but warming during a tour of Hayes Tech. Dad shook Jordan's hand. Take care of my boy. Mom hugged us both, whispering acceptance. A crisis hit when Jamie faced deportation. His family disowned him. We rallied lawyers, community support, securing his stay. His tears of relief cemented our purpose, love as activism. With the company stabilized, we planned our weddinga intimate affair in Martha's Vineyard. Waves whispering blessings. Vows exchanged. Rings slipped on. Joy overflowed. But fate twisted. En route home, a car accident, drunk driver sideswiping us. Hospital again. Jordan with fractures. Me concussed. In recovery, we clung, grateful for survival. Life's too short, Jordan murmured. Post-accident, we prioritized delegating work, traveling to Hawaii for honeymoon. Beaches healed wounds. Sunsets painted futures. Back, the app hit 1 billion users. Our story inspiring features. I authored a book on queer leadership. Sales soaring. The book's release catapulted me into the spotlight. Interviews probing our life. One talk show host grilled, "Is your success due to Jordan?" I countered, "It's mutual. Love amplifies." Backstage, Jordan kissed me. "Proud of you." But fame bred envy. Anonymous threats of emails vowing to expose us. Paranoia set in. We hired security. Investigations pointed to Marcus, but proof elusive. Tension strained us. Arguments flaring over precautions. During a keynote in NYC, a protester rushed the stage, shouting slurs. Security intervened, but the fear lingered. Jordan held me that night. We won't let hate win. To escape, we retreated to a cabin in the Rockies. Snow blanketing worries. Fireside. We shared dreams, adopting, expanding the foundation. A family, Jordan said, eyes shining. Reality intruded upon return. A lawsuit from the conservative group, claiming discrimination. Courts loomed, lawyers prepping. I testified, voice steady. Inclusion isn't exclusion. Jordan followed, eloquent. We won. Precedent set for queer rights. Victory sweetened by Jamie's college acceptance. We celebrated, toasting growth. Our wedding approached, but jitters hit. What if I'm not enough? I confessed. Jordan reassured, "You're more than enough." The ceremony, ocean views. Friends gathered. Walking the aisle, hearts synced. Vows poured, in your eyes. I found home. Rings exchanged. Kiss sealing eternity. Honeymoon in Bali, temples, beaches, rediscovery. Passion reignited. Bodies celebrating union. Home. We pursued adoption, navigating bureaucracy. A match, twin boys from foster care. Their smiles melting us. Parenthood transformed, sleepless nights. Joyful chaos. Work balanced with family. Hayes Tech thriving under co-leadership. Years passed. Challenges morphed. Kids' questions about two dads sparked talks on love's forms. We authored a children's book, Normalizing Diversity. A health scare for Maritine scan revealing a benign tumor-tested resilience. Jordan's support unwavering. Surgery successful. Reflecting on that interview, gratitude swelled. From hidden to whole, our journey a tapestry of trials and triumphs. At a 10-year anniversary gala, we renewed vows, crowd cheering. To love that changes lives, Jordan toasted. In the quiet moments, as our sons grew into teens, we faced new hurdles, one coming out as bi, echoing our paths. We guided with empathy, family bonds unbreakable, Professionally, we sold Hayes Tech, starting a nonprofit for global LGBTQ plus tech education. Travels took us to Pride events worldwide. Stories collected like treasures. Aging gracefully, we retired to a vineyard in Sonoma. Grapes ripening as our love did. Grandkids visited. Laughter filling air. Looking back, that CEO's gaze wasn't judgment, it was recognition. A call to authenticity. Our life. Proof that vulnerability breeds strength. Love conquers fear. In the end, it's not the interview that changed me, it was opening my heart. Embracing the beautiful, messy truth of who I am. And with Jordan by my side, forever meant just that, a legacy of hope, whispered to the world.